Hi, welcome to Dear Dilemma, where you send in your dilemmas and we answer them. Do you need an outside perspective?
Advice anonymously?
We're here to help. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Hannah.
And this is
Dear Dilemma.
Welcome back to Dear Dilemma. For this episode, we wanted to do something fun for the holiday season, especially for Christmas or Christmas Eve, as we will not be having a video out for that week due to spending time with family and just, making sure you're taking in the holiday spirit. So today's episode, we just kind of want to discuss kind of what we enjoy about Christmas, Christmas Eve, kind of maybe go back to the 90s, what we grew up with, what we miss, and just have a little fun episode about that. So yeah, Hannah, what did you do? Do you remember anything from the 90s growing up? Oh, it was the best.
Yes. Okay, I was just going to say, my favorite thing about Christmas as a child was honestly just being at the top of our stairs. So we had, do you remember that house?
Did you creep?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
To see if Santa came?
So we had, this 2-story house, and the stairs kind of went up to a balcony, and it overlooked, the downstairs area, and that was where our tree was. So I remember, my sister and I would, sneak out there and, look through the banister and, try to figure out what each present was. But our parents would never let us, go down there early and open up presents or anything.
What time did you guys usually go?
Well, we went down probably once my parents finally got out of bed, which was probably early. I mean, looking back, it was probably 7 or something. I think we woke up early. My parents had to get coffee. That was the rule. And
we had to have our hot chocolates.
We always did stockings first, which I love, and I actually do that tradition with my son now. So we do stockings first, then they made us sit down and eat breakfast, and it was the worst thing ever.
Stop!
We had to wait to open our presents after we ate breakfast.
They should be thrown in jail for that nonsense.
But actually, looking back, it was kind of fun. I always loved the anticipation because it, would build up. You're eating your pancakes and you're, staring at the gift. I think I know what that is. But you got your stockings.
I'm just going to put a disclaimer out there right now. No children needs to be listening to this episode because of Santa. And we may say things about our experiences of Santa.
Yeah.
So please don't let your children listen to this because we don't want to ruin anything.
Yeah. So just
pause
this is your warning. Pause. Turn it off.
This is your warning, which no children usually should be listening to this. Not that we say anything bad, but it's just not children age. But just in case you're in the car and you're listening on Spotify, or
maybe hit the pause button.
Just hit the pause button because we don't want to ruin anything. Okay, continue because I just want to make sure I can see ruining one kid's life.
I don't want to ruin it. Honestly, I was just going to share. I believed in Santa Claus way too old.
How old?
Do you want to guess, Brooke? It's really embarrassing.
She stopped believing in Santa last year, guys.
It's so embarrassing.
What, 16?
No.
Longer?
No, a little younger.
13?
11. Do you want to know why?
No, that's normal.
That's not normal. I don't feel 11 is normal.
Maybe it's because my mom or dad kept the Christmas spirit alive to make sure,
yeah.
I mean, I think that's around a good age, 10 or 11, unless they have siblings that ruin it for them. My nephew doesn't, obviously I don't know how old he's in 8th grade. What is that, 12 or 13? 13?
Yeah.
He doesn't believe, no, he's 14. Oh my gosh. He doesn't obviously now, but at that age between 10 to the teenagers, you're they're not saying anything. So do you say anything?
Should we tell them?
Yeah. Do you keep it going? And every year I'm like, what did Santa bring you? And he would look at me after hitting that age. I'm like, right? Or is it
did Santa come?
Yeah, I'm confused on what is happening with that.
So I have to tell you this story. This is why I believed in Santa Claus so long. So the Polar Express movie.
Yes. Yep.
We had the book. I don't think the movie even had come out at that point. So
that
we read the book.
It's been out for 20-some years.
Has it? Okay, so that makes me feel better. Okay, so I think I had seen the movie then. So I'd read the book, I saw the movie, and I asked for Santa Claus that year for a bell, he got in the movie. And my dad...
I know where this is going.
My dad, he got a little bell. He put leather on it. He scratched up the leather. He made it look like so legitimate. And so that year for Christmas, I'm like, all you people at school that told me that Santa Claus wasn't real, look at what I got. Yeah, I know that
and
he's
they were
real.
Like, loser.
Yeah, they're
weirdo.
like, we're like 10 and 11. You're stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we have our iPods now. We don't want.
And I'm like, I got this bell. Santa's sleigh.
He's so real.
I really believed in Santa way too long.
No, I think it's fine. I think even if you stop believing in Santa, there's something just magical about Christmas. And whether it's the decorations in your house, the lights, going to see them. Oh, yes. And obviously they say it's even more fun when you have your own kids, which I know you do, so you're excited.
Yeah.
I don't, but I have nieces that are young enough who still believe. And it's like, so this is our tradition that we do. My dad and I started this. So on Christmas Eve, we go over there around, like, I don't know, 8 or 9. We make it a little late right before their bedtime. And sister-in-law, if you're listening to this, please do not let the kids listen to this part because it'll ruin it. My dad, I'll go there first. Yeah. And then my dad will text me probably about 20 minutes later, and he has bells. And so he goes around the house because they can't see because they live in the middle of nowhere. And he shakes the bell so they think it's Santa's sleigh going over the house. And so we're like, girls, you have to get in bed. And I'll read them like the Night Before Christmas book as that's going on. And then they're like, we hear him. And so this year, the youngest one.
That's so special.
I know. The youngest one didn't understand last year. Now she's old enough to like be more involved, so it's going to be really cool. And then we record it, and they're like trying to peek out the window, but they can't see anything, and like he's basically running around their house, their property, just and they think it's so we're like, girls, we got to go to bed. Did you hear that? Santa's like coming.
I love that.
Yeah. Or did you ever do the NORAD tracking? Did you parents ever show you that?
Yes,
they still do it.
Oh yeah, on Christmas Eve every night. Oh, I loved watching that.
I was obsessed.
Me too. I was like, oh my gosh, he's over Africa.
Yeah. He's in China. We have to go to bed. He's going to.
They still do it. I didn't know they still did that.
That website is still going.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's a fun one.
What's some of your, like growing up from, you said the 90s. So what was your things that you remember?
Same thing. We had it upstairs and we'd come down and then sneak around, the banister. And I was bad. I was like up every hour checking. I don't know how I did not catch my parents playing Santa Claus because I was bad. I don't know. They probably should just locked me in the room, to be honest. And I mean, I would get them up at like 4:30, 5 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
And they would get up and do it. But then when I still believed and my brother didn't, he was like, oh, we got to get up.
Yes, that's how you know that your sibling, like, that was the year that they didn't believe anymore. Yeah. Because they're like I want to sleep.
Yeah, Santa's here. And they're like, he's like, please go to bed. And now, obviously, I still get excited though. I mean, Zach and I love Christmas. I think it's also hard because his birthday is a couple days before Christmas. So if you have a child that is a few days before Christmas, that's even harder.
Or a few days after, like mine.
Yeah, or a few days after where you're like, okay, what did we do with this? Going to see the lights for sure.
Yeah.
Have you been to, there is a place nearby us about an hour away, Clifton Mills. That's a new tradition we have.
Oh,
have you ever
heard of that?
It's like an old mill, and they have thousands and thousands of lights, and Santa's actually there in his workshop, and he comes up out of his chimney like a guy playing Santa.
Can you send me that link?
Yes, and well, it's really packed when you go, but it is so cool. So that's a tradition we do now, but I would say back in the 90s, it was always like the decorations were so much better.
Oh, yeah.
I think nowadays homes don't have enough color in them. It's too modern. Like some of the, have you ever,
very
like
simplistic.
Some of those big influencers have just like white and creams for Christmas, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Give
we got to have a little red, a little green, a little bit of something.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever go get real Christmas trees?
We did the first couple years, I think, and then we finally, when I got a little bit older, we ended up going to a fake one because it was too much sap and all that on the floor.
And then the pine needles.
Yeah.
It smelled really great. But then they started creating that pine smell tree spray. You know what I'm talking about? So you can spray it on your fake tree, and people were like, wow, is that a real one?
No, but it smells like it.
Yeah. I know. A lot of great memories. And Christmas parties at school were so much more fun.
Yes. Yep.
Now they're like...
And I loved like making cookies to set out for Santa. So that was always something that like my mom would make sure that we did together as a family. And then
so my aunt at her job, she's done, retired now, but at her job she would bake all of the cookies, and they would have a big cookie decorating night, and Santa would come, and they had gifts for every kid that was there.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and so even when I was older, I was like, when's cookie grading? Like 2 years ago, I was like, when's cookie grading night? And now that she's no longer there, I'm like, oh man. So now that is one of our traditions, is we try to get together to make cookies, Buckeyes, like all the sweets and candies and that you make. I think that's a fun one too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think so my husband is half Filipino, and obviously I want to carry on like some of that culture to my son and teach him a little bit. So one of the things that I was going to try to do as like a tradition for us is like baking cookies, but also doing the Filipino egg rolls. They're called lumpia, and they are the best thing ever.
Let me tell you, the first few times we hung out, I'm standing up for a reason, for like the guy off of Dancing with the Stars, whatever his name is. I was like, what is this magical food?
I forgot that you tried that I made them for you.
She hasn't made me any sense.
Yeah, they're super good. So, I got the recipe from his dad, who is full Filipino, raised in the Philippines, all that. Their food is just amazing. Yeah. But I kind of want to do it as like a tribute to my husband's culture. Like, he doesn't speak it, or he was born here in the U.S., like doesn't really have that much of the culture.
But to intertwine something.
Yeah, just to like pass that along to my son. So I think that's kind of fun too, like just figuring out what traditions you want for your own family.
Yeah. And then on Christmas morning, we would always go to my grandpa's, and he would make homemade hot chocolate, like milk and cocoa powder, like homemade hot chocolate, because after we were done doing gifts and eating, we would go sledding. And because back in the day, it actually snowed on Christmas. I don't know what happens now. It's just cold, but it actually snowed. And so all of us would like go sledding, and then we'd come back and he'd have that homemade hot chocolate. And it's just hard when you get older. Although that fun stuff, it ends up like people passing away, and
it's not as magical. Like, I think when we were kids, that season was just so magical
as you get older, because then they expect you to
participate, do things, like host things.
You need to make this, and where are you going for this? And then you get in a relationship, and it's like, whose house are you going to? And, but even now, I know what I'm getting for Christmas, because it's harder when you're older. Like, what do you want? I end up buying stuff, and just give me the money, and then we swap. Till Christmas. But it's still so fun to like get up, and I'm sure it's even more fun when you have a child to get to pass on that fun.
Except for when you stay up like till 2 a.m. putting together a play kitchen the night before.
I will say, one year I found my gift.
Did you really? Did it make you still like not believe in Santa then, or what happened?
No, I think I still believe, but I remember I had like one of those baby dolls that they would make a replica of you. And they hid it in the attic, and I don't know why, but I went to go play and get something out, I don't know, play in the attic or whatever.
Wait, that's also, like, time out, that's kind of creepy, like, in your old house to, find a doll in your attic.
It gets better. So it was the walk-in attic. So I walk in, and then at the very end of the little hall, she's sitting there. Like, she's not in a box or anything. She's just sitting there.
Stop.
And I was like...
I would have freaked out.
I was like, I'm going to back it up, Terry. And they knew I saw it, and I tried to play it off like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. My mom's like, you saw it. Like, we know you saw it. I'm like, well, who just puts a gift in the attic and just sits it out for your kid to see? Like, put a blanket
Put it in a box or something.
Put it in a blanket But that was the only time I've ever found my gift. Did you ever?
No, I think one time, like, my sister found them, and I think that was the year that my mom, like, thought she knew that Santa wasn't real. After she thought that she found the gifts and all that, so she ended up telling her. Yeah. And then come to find out, like, my sister didn't even really know what she found. Oh. So she didn't even put two and two together.
Well, I think it's hard too in the older that, now, of where do you hide them when you have children? Because I think of
especially if they're investigative.
Maybe they have an outdoor barn they can go put them in. But when in other homes that you don't have that, hopefully you have parents or grandparents that can help you maybe hide it at their house or something.
I was just going to say.
When do you wrap them? When do you, how does this work?
You could, just ship them to, your parents' house or something if it's close.
Make them wrap it. I will also say I miss the mall.
Yes.
Santa. And then do you remember that thing in the middle of our mall that used to have like the sausage and nuts and the mints?
Yes.
And
Santa Claus, like the setup and all that.
it was so cool.
It was cool.
And now we don't have like...
Malls like don't exist anymore. But back in the 90s and the 2000s, malls were like where it was at.
It was so fun. And now it's not of that.
It's
but
not
I just
even.
miss the nostalgia of the 90s and the decorations. And I wish that my parents would have kept more of that.
Oh, so
I
you
could
could
have
use them?
now.
Yeah.
But
It's kind of a bittersweet thing, like as you get older with Christmas. It's fun to look back on those memories, but you like when you have kids, you like want to create those memories for them too, because man, things just are different.
yeah. Any certain Christmas movies you watch right before Christmas, like specific ones?
I love The Grinch.
My house is decked out in the Grinch. I need a bigger house to
It
get
is,
more.
yeah,
I
yours is-
love the Grinch. Hobby Lobby came through for your girl. Actually, Walmart's got a ton right now too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that they had some.
Grinch is a great one.
And then the Polar Express, we've been watching that a lot with my son. He's like
Are you going to
obsessed
take
with
him to the
it.
Polar Express train?
We couldn't get tickets; it got sold out. But that's one of the things I was actually going to mention is I think, especially if you have birthdays around the same time too,
Trying to find something
is try to find like experiences that your family can go to and spend money on. So the gifts don't always have to be just things. That's what I've realized. I think I went like overboard for my son's first Christmas because it was his first Christmas. But now I'm like, I'm not going to give him that much. I want to like go and do experiences with him and stuff that he'll appreciate.
I got my nieces tickets to the zoo.
Yeah.
And they were able to use it. They had a certain time frame, but I'm like, I'd rather, and I do that for their birthdays instead of me buying them something. I mean, I know they have toys. I like to take them out for the day. So they get to go and pick where they want to eat, what they want to go do. And if they want to go pick out a toy, that's fine. Or if they want to go bowl or whatever it may be. And then that is my, like, I started that tradition with them.
I love that because then you're just spending quality time with them and making memories.
Yeah.
And
when it's hard because then one sister wants to go, the other one wants to go. And I'm trying to explain, like, it's not your birthday. And I started doing that, but then they both want something. And I'm, like, trying to... They're getting older. They're understanding now. But the first couple years, it was like, okay, you can go, but you can't get anything because it's not really... But now they get it. Yeah. And they can pick, like, if she can go or if she can't go.
Oh, that's good. That's a good aunt thing that you're doing. Yeah. That's awesome.
I also... What's another movie? I like watching... what's it? Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh... Is it Christmas Family Vacation? I forget exactly the title, but yes.
Oh, that's such a good one to watch.
That's where they strap Grandma onto the roof, right?
Yeah, I think so. And then the cousin parks in the driveway with his RV. Yeah. Christmas Vacation.
Oh, man, I want to watch that.
Christmas. Oh, I love that one. That's a good one. And then what's the others? I go back on Disney Plus sometimes since they have the original Disney movies that we grew up watching.
Home Alone.
Home Alone's a good one, but like some of the Disney originals, I'll go back and watch, and I'm like, this is such a cool, like, to be able to do that. Yeah. But yeah, Elf is a good one.
Oh, Elf.
Elf is but it's hard like to find where you can watch it at on certain streaming services.
I know it's not as user friendly as what it used to be. I don't think.
And you can rent out a movie theater room up and have up to like, I don't know, so many people depending on where you're at. And I was going to do that one year for his birthday and watch, like, they have a certain select of movies you can watch to pick as your private party. And I was going to do the Christmas Vacation and then for Zach.
That is awesome. I didn't know you could do that.
I'm like, how am I going to get him to the movies? He's not going to want to go to the movies. I'm like, watch this at home. Yeah. But that's another tradition, is making sure you get your Christmas movies in. Well, we hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we hope you guys all have a fabulous Merry Christmas, Christmas Eve. You know, hope everything goes in your favor. Hopefully Christmas morning, if you have children, works out. Hopefully they don't wake you up as early, and if they do, enjoy it, because one day they're going to be grown. Or like Hannah, and may still believe.
And if you want to torture your children, make them eat breakfast before they open up their presents.
Oh my gosh. Next time I see your parents, I'm like, what were you guys thinking?
What was wrong with you?
What were you thinking? Should go like egg your mom's house. No! I would never do that. I love you so much.
I love you, Katie.
Yeah.
I hope that you guys also will just comment and share some of your own traditions and your own comments, maybe some things from back in the day that were fun, and you can share with us as well. You know, we really want to just continue to build this community of who watches us and kind of create a safe place for everybody to share things like that.
Absolutely. Yep. And hopefully it snows on Christmas so you can enjoy a white Christmas morning.
Yes, white Christmas.
And yeah.
And then we will be back for
Yes.
one episode on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
On Tuesday, and then you won't
be
see
back-
us again until the new year.
We'll be back to our regular viewing services after the holidays.
After the holidays.
Yeah. Make sure to follow us on YouTube, or you can watch and listen on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify, and then Instagram and TikTok at Dear Dilemma Official. And of course, we'll always have our link for our anonymous responses where you can write in your own dilemmas. Or if you want to tell us how you have your own Christmas stories, you can write in to the survey as well, or if you need some help. So again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we'll see you next time.